This weekend was my first time baking a lime cake. Just like virtually everyone else in this pandemic, and naturally adopted a new hobby. It's so fun because I've seen so many friends and acquaintances bake all over the years, but not until now do I finally hop on the train. It's a truly therapeutic process, and better late than never, I realize that to create something tangible with our hands is so fulfilling. Especially considering the fact that more and more of our lives are going digital, at least with my full-time job. So at one point, my train of thoughts led me through various baking-related moments in my life. The loving image of Ngọc with her brownie when we first moved in our UK apartment. And she got up super early in the daylight-saving morning, working so hard on her bicep, mixing up the ingredients because we hadn't got the egg blender yet, the devil's chocolate for Ivan's birthday, and many, many more. The dearly memory of my close cousin living in my childhood house and how she would make flan cake for the whole family. And then it harks back to the first time I received a kind of baking product as a gift, which was on my 14th or 15th birthday, and from my first ever boyfriend. I remember he and his group of friends came to my house, standing and being so loud at my doorstep, and I would stick my head out of the balcony, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And they would hold up a pile of pancakes with honey on it. There's a line from Andy Dillard that goes, "I look at the mountain as you look at a still beautiful face belonging to a person who was once your lover years ago, with fond nostalgia and recognition, but no real feeling save a secret astonishment that you are now strangers. Thanks for the memories." Needless to say, my case was not that extreme. After all, we're still friends somehow, and that was a fun memory. Social media is also a way to document memories. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I mean, maybe we're reminded of the disadvantage of social media on our self-esteem quite a lot. I recall reading somewhere that our mind setting is only customized to deal with a society of 60 to 100 people at most. And now social media offers us too many small bites of content from probably hundreds and thousands of people per day. I have to admit that yes, during compulsive social media scrolling sessions, very many times our minds turn a bit numb and treat our friends and acquaintances updates as solely grids and photos. But if we can digest bit by bit and zoom out and think about it really, social media is so magical in some ways. Recently, I just knew that one of my former close friends just settled down with his job in the US and bought his first car. About 8 or 9 years ago, during the transitions between primary and secondary schools, I couldn't ride a bike out yet, so he would pick me up with his bike to hang out. And in my mind, he had always been a super independent, resilient, and kind person who could go anywhere on his bike at a very young age, unlike myself. I remember looking up to him and his bike to great extent, and it beams such warm light in my heart that now, although years have passed and we haven't talked for so long, I still can look up to him through his Facebook photo update. My old friend is living a good life and still independent, still resilient, and hopefully still kind. When I was in the beginning of 7th grade, my school back then was in its second year of operation, so we only have one class of 7th graders. In short, the community was so small, which means that when you got isolated or bullied, there was not much space for escapism. And those months were hellish. I would go to school every day, sit alone, have lunch on my own, rush to the bathroom to cry during recess, and during noon naps, when the girls were chit-chatting, I'd be friends with my loyal books. After that, my parents transferred me to another secondary school, where I met my best friends in life, some of them, had my first love, first ex, and had so many great times. Looking back, probably the most hurtful thing was that the bullies used to be my closest friends back then. I deleted my Facebook account and cut almost all ties with people from that former school. Years after that, a 21-year-old me got curious, and after some searchings, I found them on the internet. It's just weird to think about the separate paths we've chosen. We could have been better friends, but to look at their Facebook updates is alright for me. I genuinely hope that they are kind and have grown out of their old selves. John Green has written in his profoundly beautiful book, The Anthropocene Reviewed.
And I think about the many broad seas that have rolled between me and the past. Seas of neglect, seas of time, seas of death. I'll never again speak to many of the people who loved me into this moment. Just as you will never speak to many of the people who loved you into your now. So we raise a glass to them and hope that perhaps somewhere they are raising a glass to us.
I think about all the people I've met in this life, mostly whom I'm not able to be in touch regularly anymore. Good old friends, kind teachers, nice acquaintances, my grandmother. So let's raise a glass to the people who loved or even hated us into this moment. Thank you all for the memories.